guide yesterday told us we were going to have that great.
Started moving, I tried to tell him to come up.
Get us to that river. Okay, well, we'll see. We're not giving up.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
You all sound okay, but I know you could do better than that, right? Let's hear it. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Good morning.
All right, a lot better. Welcome to Belize. My name is Yvette. I'm one of your tour guides. Say hi. You have 3 tour guides, right? Say hi to Jade. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Belize. And of course, Marvin.
Morning, guys. Welcome to Belize.
Hello, Marvin.
So, apart from you all, who else do you think is important on this bus?
The bus driver.
The driver. Are you sure?
Yes.
All right. Say hi to Miller.
Hi, Miller.
Do you want him to stand up?
No.
All right. So we are in good hands. Miller has his PhD in driving. That means he's a pothole dodger, right? All right. So you leave all the driving to Miller. You sit back, relax with us today. We want you all to have an unbelievable experience. We don't say awesome. We don't say great, good, bad. We say unbelievable. Okay. Anything you'd like to know, feel free to ask. This is your tour. All right? Our number 1 concern is your safety. So all we ask while the bus is in motion for everyone to remain seated. All right? When we're going to exit, watch your steps. Watch your heads with the overpiece. You hit your head, then we're going to have to watch the language, right? All right. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you all are doing the crocodile hunting tour. Am I right?
No.
No?
No.
Really? This guy say yes. Me too. So I guess he signed up for something different, right? All right. You're doing the Altun Ha River Wallace tour, or Old River. Same thing, right?
Yes.
So this tour lasts approximately 6 hours, starting from this point until you return back to the same location. You are doing the bus portion that takes us to the Maya site, from the site, we head directly over to where you all have lunch, and then from that point, the boat brings you down the river, onto the Caribbean Sea, and right back where we started from. Sounds good? Yes. All right. One routine stop, Belize Tourism Board. These people are the ones who set the rules, the regulation. They give us everything at the end of the year. We know exactly how we're doing across the board when it comes to tourism, which is one of the 4 main industries that we have in the country. Fastest growing industry, competing with our #1. It is seasonal. You know, whenever the hurricane season, most ships they checked out, but that's okay, right? Understandable. Ladies and gentlemen, the company we work for, Chaka Adventures, they would like each and every one of you to print your name individually right here. It says name, ship, cabin number, signature. You put what apply, alright? So no Mr. and Mrs. We have 40 people, we should get 40 signature. Anyone 16 years and younger today? No one feels 16? Alright, there you go. Okay, so when it comes to what we're leaving with, 40 people, I could come back with more, but I cannot come back with 30 and a half, right? So leave all the worries to us. You sit back, relax, enjoy, listen to your tour guides, and at any time, whenever you have something, feel free to ask. Coming up on the driver hand side right here in the center, you have some cannons. Now those cannons were actually dug up from this location. When it comes to the entire area, it is reclaimed land. Whenever you come to Belize, if you were noticing when the ship was navigating, what do you think was happening when you were coming in this point?
Avoiding reef.
You're going behind the reef? Avoiding the reef. And did you notice all the little settlement out there? Yeah. All right. So those are what we call keys or islands. There is one which is 9 miles out that way, and that is known as St. George's Key. How many of you heard about that little island? Nobody heard about that island? How many of you been to Belize before? And you didn't heard about that island?
Not that I
Really?
recall. We've slept since then.
Then your brain should work much better now. So how many of you do a lot of reading?
Yeah.
Alright, and you haven't read about how Belize all started? Before Belize, what were we known as? You see, you do read. I'm just making sure where I could make up my stories, right? Over here you have the large hotel on the right hand side. That is the largest in the city. It's hooked up with the Ramada Group. It is known as the Princess Hotel. Now they introduced us to casino. You saw that, right? How many of you like the casino? Okay, we have 1, 2 people. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that, you know. In Belize, the local people, they call the casino Contribution Center. On the right, you have the BTL Park, and this stands for Belize Telemedia Limited, BTL. That is the phone company that donated the park to the city. Now when it comes to all the colorful booths, recently been upgraded by the mayor, known as Honorable Darrell Bradley. So family members and their kids, 18 years when it comes to legal age. You're not 18, that is where you could come out on weekends, enjoy the cool breeze. 18 and over, you could go to location like these. Our Bar and Grill, nightclub. That is what you're gonna find on this stretch right here. Depending on where you come from, some people say TGIF. Thank God it's Friday.
Yeah.
You know what we say in Belize? Thursday, Thursday. We start a day early, right? Pelican beer. Have you heard about that beer?
Yeah.
Did you had it? Anyone that been here?
No.
That is the best beer in Belize. You know why? There you go. It's the only beer that is brewed here. But now they're getting competitors into the country like Kabuli, Presidente from Dominica, different locations. So we're gonna see if it's going to be the #1, right? I'm not a beer person, but maybe you could ask Marvin when he's off work if how is the beer, or you could try one. How many of you drink? All right, I have about 10 honest people with me. That's good. You're on a cruise, you're on vacation, and you don't even drink a glass of wine?
Yeah.
You know why I asked that question? You see, in the country of Belize, whenever you come here, we ask you to do 3 things like us. If you drink like us, you don't have to worry about the other 2 things. They come naturally, right? You don't drink, then I guess that will be the harder way to learn the other 2 things. We are now passing through what is known as the Kings Park era. Now this is the first residential area to establish in our city limits. I'll say minimum $150,000 depending on the size and what it's made out of, the material for one of these homes. Minimum going up. What kind of professions do you think these people have?
Politicians.
Politicians. Is that what you only call them? No other names for the government people? We don't want to hear it. They're good words. Okay. So I guess that is universal, right?
Yeah.
You know what we call them in Belize? Politicians. That's right. White and purple building, that is the Belize Telemedia Limited main office. And you can see they have a tower that stands approximately 700 feet. They make sure they give us good service because we are very humorous people. We like to joke around, we make up names for everything. So BTL, we say better try later. That's right, but they do a good job at giving us internet, direct dial, international. Over here we have the track and field stadium on your right, and it is under construction. It is now renamed Marian Jones Stadium. Are you familiar with her?
Yes.
She ran the Sydney Olympics.
Yeah.
She's not a Belizean, but one of her parents is by birth. So she visited the location. She saw what it looks like. Along with different groups, she donated funds to uplift that entire location. So we decided to name it Marian Jones. Same hand side, the right, you have the St. John's College, founded in 1887. On the compound, there is also the only all-boys school in the entire country, the high school level. That is administered by the Jesuit priests. When it comes to Belize City, used to be the capital. It is now the commercial capital because everyone coming to the city, they get connecting flights, they go to different locations in the country. Even us that live here, most of us work in the city, we go to school here. Edward P. Ark High School on the right, that is the only school that is directly administered by the government of Belize. Most schools have that church-state system. The church right in the yard, like this one right here, you have the school and there is a church to the far end right there. The beauty about it, all the religions that you can think about, we have here. I believe it is easier to say what we don't have. The only thing we do not have as yet, correct me if I'm wrong, Hare Krishnas, is that the way you say it?
Yeah.
Right. That is the only one, not here yet. You could be a Catholic, you could go to a Methodist school. You could be a Methodist and go to a Catholic school. You just abide by the rules of the school. There is one religion that prefer you to be their part of religion to go to their school, and that is the Adventists. They prefer it that way. Alright, so when it comes to the schools, all uniform, from preschool to high school. Only the college, the university, co-ed. But that is good, because the parents, they don't have to worry about finding that whole year of supply of clothes for the kids. You get about 5, 6 uniforms, and you're good for the entire year. All right, ladies and gentlemen, shortly we are going to make a turn, and that will connect us to one of our highways that we have in the country. There is 4 The one we will be on shortly, renamed Philip Golson Highway. Right here. We used to call it the Northern Highway. That's the name it had before, simply because it takes you to the north. Now from the city, and this is still considered to be city limit, 2 hours and a half, depending on your pace, driving, you will be over Chetumal, Mexico border. Keep driving. 3, 4 days, all depending on your pace. Where do you think you'll be? Texas. That's right. So that is where you would be, right? So if you're adventurous, you could drive to the country of Belize. We have our international airport. You could fly, and now the cruise ships. It's been 20 years now since they have been coming in, but at that time, the first time a ship came to Belize, it was like 1 time for the entire month. Now we're down to 2 or 3 days in the high season, which is out of the hurricane season, December to May. How does the weather look to you all? Flat?
Partly cloudy.
Partly cloudy. How many of you think that this is a good weather? How many of you have the same type of weather like we do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Nobody from Florida. Anyone from location that gets snow? Only 3 persons get snow where they come from. Where's that?
Minnesota.
Minnesota. So where are you from?
San Antonio.
San Antonio. So what is the weather like there?
Pretty much like this.
Pretty much like this.
Cooler in the winter.
A little cooler in the winter. So you go by winter, spring. Alright. In Belize, we go by dry or wet. That's right. You see, the dry season is now, December to May. But in between December and February is when we get those cool temperatures. And I say cool because for some of you all it is cool. The lowest temperature, 45 degrees Fahrenheit, ever recorded. At that point, we are dressed up like Eskimos. That is cold for us. Highest temperature ever, 115 degrees Fahrenheit. Humidity could be anywhere from 70 to 100%, right? Depending on the location. And you will see driving along the ecosystem change as we come out of city limits. So this right here, all still city limits. And it also shows you a perfect example that we do not have zoning laws when it comes to the entire city limits and the rest of the country. There are only 2 main strictly residential locations. We just passed business, a bar, residence. Right here you have a church, Divine Mercy Catholic Church. Across from it, the largest location that people come to buy their, starting from a foundation, going up to what you need in a home if you want to build your home, right at the Belize. Now this store right here is the only store in our country that has an escalator. So a lot of us go in there just for the fun of it. Over here on the right is the Brody's supermarket, deli, appliance, everything in one, pharmacy, and that is a local owned business. There are different outlets throughout the entire country, but that has been serving the country for over 125 years. On your driver hand side, Westra Auto Parts Company. That is owned by the Mennonites. One of the things you will learn today, they're all different faces, different ethnic groups in our country that makes up the diversity of the country. So English is the official language, but you will observe that we speak other languages, right? Don't worry, we will teach you a couple of them. So when you go back, you could at least say 2 words in the different languages, right? Coming up on the driver hand side, you have the 3rd hotel to develop. And this is the Best Western Biltmore Plaza. 3rd hotel to develop in the country of Belize. You're looking at like 99 rooms. They have everything at that location. Restaurant, bar, information desk. There is location if you want to do tours throughout the country. And also gift shop. So they're pretty equipped. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, when we are officially out of city limits, we go over a bridge, and you will be seeing that shortly. The bridge is known as the Hall Over Bridge. Remember I said earlier, we're humorous people, we make up names easily for everything. Haul over meaning pull over from one side to the next. Before we had the bridge in place, there was a ferry. In most locations where there is a river, you got to cross from one point to the next. We used to have ferry. There is like 2 of them that I know about still existing in the country of Belize. One of them to get to a Maya site. The other one is on private property owned by the Mennonites. When you cross over the Hall Over Bridge, from that point, you're out of city limits. You're looking at approximately 6 square miles of city limits. Our city is 3 to 4 feet below sea level. You drive out, depending which direction you go, the elevation change. The northern portion of Belize is more like a low flat plain, but a higher transition from the city. You go to the west part of the country, that is the higher elevation. Mountains, rivers, waterfall, cave system. Highest point, you're looking at approximately 4,000 feet. Everything, when it comes to the river, journey down east, empties into the Caribbean Sea. So the river you'll be on later on this afternoon, that is the longest and the largest river in the country of Belize. You're looking at approximately 180 miles. You will be doing approximately 23 miles of the river. Varies in depth, 6 to 60 feet. Lot of rain, weathers, then you will find that it rains 10-20 feet more than normal, depending on how many rain and if we have a flood. Alright, so coming up, right in front of us, that is the Hall Over Bridge. Now as you go over that bridge, you look below. On the right, you will see where it empties out into the Caribbean Sea. And then on the left, there is a small little opening, which is the Hallover Creek that empties out into the river. So it runs all to the back of this location right here. The Hallover Creek is where you all came in on your tenders at the port. That runs through the entire city, separating the north and the south side. Right, so that is the river you will be on later on. And what you are looking at, the vegetation, the majority of them mangrove. And you can find that anywhere. Surrounding the keys, the island, and along the coast going 10 miles in. Some locations are protected. Mangroves are very important. It acts as Mother Nature's seawall, like a buffer between the land and the sea. And if you look at the roots, they kind of explain the filtration process it does and protects smaller marine products from larger predators. Now what I love about this river, you get to view wildlife. Now we do not guarantee you of what you're going to see because they're in their natural habitat. But I would like to know, what kind of animals do you all like?
Monkey.
Monkeys, what else?
Dolphins.
What's that? Oh, we only have 2 types of monkeys in Belize. The black hauler ones, which normally you see those along the river, and then there is the spider monkey, that is more like inland up west or in different locations. What else do you like?
Iguana.
Iguanas. Why do you like iguanas?
I'd never seen all the different color iguanas that they have here. We were on a tour last year. They have large iguanas, lots of colors.
Okay. In Belize, we have 2 iguanas. Spiny tail, which we call garobo, and the green iguanas. But the green iguanas, when it comes to the male, change color to that bright orange color. The reason why I asked why you like iguanas, because in Belize they are open and closed season for some things that we consume. So the iguanas are what we call bamboo chicken. Why do you think we call it bamboo chicken?
So the tourists don't know what they're eating.
No, we won't do you that. So, the iguanas, they're herbivores. And they consume mainly bamboo trees. The meat is white, it tastes like chicken, so we call it bamboo chicken. What kind of animals you do not like? Snakes, crocodile. Who said crocodile? Have you seen an alligator before?
Yes.
Which one do you think is more aggressive? Crocodile or alligator?
Crocodile.
Crocodile.
You think a crocodile is?
Yeah.
Will you all believe me if I said that we swim with our crocodiles?
Oh, really? God.
You won't believe me?
No. I don't want to.
Not until you see me do it?
Yeah. Is that part of the chore? Okay. We'll get our cameras ready. You walked right into
No, no. We swim with our crocodiles. Honestly. And traveling up the river, if we do not see one person in the river today, I'll get in the river for you.
Remember she said that.
There are only two types of crocodiles. Freshwater marlin. No alligators in Belize. The freshwater marlin, honestly, you have a certain ethnic group that stands in the river waist high, female, and they do their laundry down by the riverside. They hang it out to air dry. Never have we heard of a crocodile attacking someone. There is an annual race that we do, Altun Ha Mayan Festival, canoe. They paddle the entire length of the river, 180 miles. Every 9th of March, you see everyone, it's a public and bank holiday, they're out looking at the race, and the kids swimming, swinging over here on tires, jumping in the river, a crocodile right over there, and it doesn't even bother. Why do you think that? We do not taste like chicken. I'm joking. You know, they gotta rethink that. I'll be honest with you. We have been doing it, and there wasn't even one incident where you heard a crocodile just attack someone from swimming. There was an incident where a guy went fishing, and he was walking through a swampy location with a string of fish. The crocodile attacked him for the fish, but I guess he wanted to eat fish because he refused to let the fish go. And in that case, he got bit. Now the saltwater one, the American crocodile, you get encounter with that, that is more aggressive. They hang out around the mangrove system, out in the Caribbean Sea, where you won't find a lot of activity taking place. What we discovered a month and a half ago, they're mating together. The saltwater is mating with the American crocodile. So we gotta rethink that. One way in and out, that is to our international airport, right there. The Philip Golson International Airport. American Airlines, TACA, United. There are some US carriers, and we do have Delta as well, flying from Los Angeles to Belize, vice versa. And there are some neighboring countries that recently introduced us to some other airlines like Copa, from Panama to Belize, stuff like that. So you can fly to the country of Belize. Now I heard someone else said snake. Snake, S-N-A-K-E. How many of you do not like snakes?
right here.
All right,
I don't if they're
that's about
poisonous.
half of the group. One advice. You see any of these green shirts running today, you run behind. There are 62 species in the entire country. 9 of them are considered to be venomous. The one I respect, in most locations, they're nocturnal. They are, you know, in areas where you have activities, where there are jungle, you won't see them unless there's a lot of rain, flooding. Are you familiar with the Ferdinand? All right, neighboring countries, they call it two-step snake. They say if it bites you, all you make, 2 steps. I disagree. There is a local guy that loves snakes. You go into his home, cages of snakes, one stove and a bed, no wife, no children. You know why, right? Now this is what the fertile lands look like. You can look at it, pass it around. We say yellow jaw because sometimes the jaw has that light yellow color. Or jumping ptarmigan because he can jump. You know he has been bitten more than once. He recently got bitten just before the new year. He's still alive. So I guess there is someone for everything, right? He be the local geographic guy, like the Discovery ones we see on TV, and I'll stick to tour guiding, right? I am not afraid of snakes, but where I come from, small village to the north, we have a lot of sugar cane. A lot of sugar cane. And the snakes, they love it, especially the fertile land. They wrap around the roots of it. Growing up, I always used to wonder why. Whenever they go in, they burn the cane field. And I learned. We went down one day, and we were in the truck, we wanted sugar cane. The farmer went in, he told us to wait, he's gonna burn the field before. He came running out. The way he was running, we knew something was wrong. That is the only snake I've seen chase humans. I never knew they could do that. I never knew they could do that. And whenever they're more aggressive is in the month of August. So anywhere where you see sugar cane, you're more likely to see them. Out in the jungle location, you gotta go where in there to see them, right? So don't worry about any snakes today. Vine snakes, boa constrictor, these are the ones you find closer to the city. Vine snakes are harmless. Boa constrictor, they love you, they hug you tight to them. They don't let go. But you keep your eye on your tour guides. There are 3 of us. You see one? You could circle us or you could run and beat us, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are passing through small villages, or some people say communities. We have a lot of them along the highway connecting to the main districts. Now I'm gonna pass a map down on each side so you get an idea of what the entire country looks like. Take one and then pass the other down.
Yeah.
So when you open up the map, it shows you the entire country. North to south, 180 miles. East to west, 68 miles. At its widest point. You're looking at 8,867 square miles of the entire country of Belize. 6 districts, 7 towns, and 2 cities. Belize City used to be the capital, now the commercial capital. The new capital is Belmopan. In between small communities, villages, we have over 33 villages in the entire country. So we passed through Ladyville already. Now we're in the large bank location, and it continues right along the highway till you go into another district. In the entire country, you are looking at 350,000 people. Approximately 350,000 people in the entire country. When it comes to the city, you're looking at approximately 80,000 people living in the city. All the different ethnic groups, all the different faces. Since you left the ship this morning up until this point, what did you notice about some of us so far? Looking at the faces, anything you noticed? You didn't notice anything at all? Marvin is not smiling enough. We are very happy people, pleasant, humorous, we're friendly. You will never know when we're having a bad day. Well, I speak for myself, right? I'm always smiling. I could cry early in the morning and I come to work and no one will know. We make much of the day, right? I think it's better that way. You smile, you go through the day a lot easier. Now, when you listen to us, when we communicate with each other, we all communicate in Creole. It does not matter what ethnic group you belong to. So when you come to Belize, if you drink like us, the other two things we want you to do is talk like us and eat like us. Alright? Our Creole is not the French Creole. We heard about the French Creole. New Orleans, Occasion. We are more like broken English. Yes. Two more? Pass that one down. Okay? So when it comes to the language Creole that we speak, it's broken English. Some people say we messed up the English word, right? But you will learn that some of the words are also an African word. We're looking for one, okay? So when it comes to a Creole person, traditionally, it's British mixed with African, like European descendants mixed with African. I'm sorry, we're out, but if you need one, they do give them out at the fair. When you get back, you could get more. We don't have any more, right? So coming back to the Creole language, when it came to the Africans, they had to communicate in English for everyone to understand each other. So that is how our Creole came about. All the words in English that ends with ER, OR, AR, we take it off and we leave a A. Or you put a A. Is there any Peter on the bus? Peter. In Belize, you are Pita. Pita. Water. Wata. Better. There you go. You're quick learners. And if you get 3 bears, oh, you master that language in no time. That's right. It comes naturally, right? The words that are tricky, TH, beginning, middle. We pronounce TH as a D. D as in dog. Father also ends with ER, becomes father. Mother, mother. So sister will be what? There you go. Imagine you getting some local wine or beer, you're gonna do a better job than me. You're already getting it, right? Now the words that you do not know. Uno. You know Spanish? Uno is what? Uno? You or you all? You or you all? Beginning. There you go. Where are you from?
Originally Louisiana.
Louisiana. She's right. Pickaninny is children. Driven from the word pickinanis, which means little ones, right? Some people say they use it as an insult. We don't take it as an insult. That is what it means. So whenever we communicate in Creole, we do it fast. A lot of hand movements and attitude with it. So you see me talking to Marvin aggressively, I'm not about to kill him, right? We are having a good conversation. A lot of attitude, right? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I'll leave you with one proverb and then I'm going to pass over the mic to my co-worker. We share the tour so you get a touch of all of us, different styles. This is how the proverbs go. Listen very well. I'll try my best to say it slowly. When fish come from river bottom and tell your alligator belly full, you better believe her. When fish come from river bottom and tell your alligator belly full, you better believe her. When the fish comes from the bottom of a river and tells you that the alligator belly is full, you better believe it. Yeah. That's right. So that is how we communicate, alright? And then you're going to learn more about the ethnic group from Jade. So you all enjoy the rest of your tour. And any questions, you could ask Jade. She likes when you give her a hard time, right? Thank you all.
I think these are the same 3 we every one of you. It's my pleasure to be accompanying you all and be one of your tour guides for today. So how are you all feeling so far? Good. Everyone's doing awesome, right? That's what I want to hear. Well, my co-worker was mentioning about the different ethnic groups. If you notice myself, I come more from the northern part of the country. It's that area where we have the second district of our entire country to be known as Arinjoa and Corozal. The Latinos, which would be the Spanish-speaking persons, would be mostly located in the northern part of Belize. So myself, I'm a mixture of Yucatec, Maya, and Spanish. This is my second day of speaking English, by the way. So do you get to understand me clearly, right? If I am at home, I get to speak Spanish. And guess what happens when I'm with my co-workers? That local dialect, the Creole, kicks in. So by any point you get to hear me twisting around the tongue a little bit, you might excuse me for today, okay? Okay, my friends. What type of food we get to enjoy in the northern part of Belize, since we are with the Yucatec Mayas, related a lot with our ancestors, we enjoyed a lot of corn food. Do you all hear me clear like that? Yes? Okay. Tamales would be one of the basic type of foods we would enjoy in the northern part of Belize. Any one of you have tasted tamales? Yes, right? Have you noticed any Kentucky Fried Chicken back in the city?
No.
McDonald's?
No.
We are not home to those huge restaurants. Belize has a major type of ethnic group in which each tries to develop a small business in their own whenever they want to have the society being introduced or fast foods, okay? So in the northern part, that's what you would find. A lot of tamales, other type of basic fast foods would be referred like salbutes and tostadas and garnaches. These would be based with corn. As well, you add a little bit of chicken to that, and you get to have that corn tortilla being fried. You add the chicken, and you add a little bit of cabbage, and that's what we would have for fast food. Basic type of foods would be, in my culture, a lot of onion soup, which we would refer that to be as escabeche. We boil chicken with that, together with other type of seasonings. So, a particular day that we set aside with the mestizos, the first day of November, we call that particular day the Day of the Dead, or Dia del Muerto. We go out in the cemeteries, clear an area where our beloved one is resting, and at home we would prepare a special altar where we would have his basic food or drink that person enjoyed during a lifetime. So we believe that on that particular day that they come back and feast, okay? For the Creole, as my co-worker was mentioning, basic food that it includes, which we would rather say the national dish of Belize, would be our rice and beans. How many of you have tasted rice and beans before? Not like in Belize, let me tell you that, right? Here in Belize, we get to prepare our rice and beans a very special way. We have the coconuts. Whenever they are dry, we gather them, we open them, we extract the dry flesh that's inside, we grate that, add a little bit of warm water, and we extract the milk from it. And another thing that we extract from those coconuts would be the coconut oil. So we add these two ingredients to the rice and beans that have been previously cooked, any type of beans of your choice. We cook that in an outer stove known as the fire hearth, and it gives that smoked taste to the rice itself, okay? What can we accompany our dish with? Anyone for mystery meat? That's the bamboo chicken that my co-worker was referring, right? We added chicken, the real chicken, to our rice and beans, and we could accompany that with what we call the plantains, which for us those are our cranberry sauce. The plantains are related with the bananas, but they grow much bigger, and whenever they are ripe, we tend to fry them, okay? So for the Creole itself, most of them are based in the city. It's where you can see a lot of my co-workers there from the Creole culture. Going down to the southern part of Belize, it's where we find the Garifuna culture, who are a mixture of African, Arawak, and Carib. Once they were settled in St. Vincent, but they were exiled from that area by the British, making their way closer to Honduras in an area known to be as Rotan, Honduras, and southern Belize. So most of them are located in the coastal zone of the southern part, and they are the only culture that get to celebrate a national holiday. That would be on the 19th of November. We get to commemorate their arrival. So we had that particular day being set aside in our calendar for the Riverina Settlement Day. They also have their own type of foods in which they enjoy a lot of different type of vegetables like cassava, potatoes, yams, sweet potatoes. They would boil all of these together with milk and form a soup in their own, okay? And other type of soups that they will enjoy as well would be one to be known as sere, in which they would introduce fried fish, conch, or even shrimp to their diet as well. A lot of seafood, since they live close by the coastal zone area of southern Belize as well. The way that they introduce a particular type of music to our country would be known as the punta. Anyone have heard about punta music? None? Punta is like a very fast rhythmic sound with the drums, usually move from the waist downwards. For most of the Belizeans here in Belize, they get to enjoy a lot of punta during the 21st of September. It's when we celebrate our carnival. Since we gained our independence back in 1981, on the 21st of September, a lot of locals get to go out in each district to celebrate their annual carnival. So punta would be one type of music that you would commonly hear along, and as well on the 19th of November, where this type of music, it doesn't matter where you're from, if you're from the north, south, or the western part, you will all be hearing that particular rhythmic of the drum, since we celebrate their day on the 19th of November as well. Okay? Mennonites, as my co-worker was mentioning, arriving in the country in 1958. Most of them are settled in the northern part of Belize, having their own community as well as in the western part. We have the Amish, the progressive and traditional Mennonites here, and they are certainly responsible for the distribution of dairy. That means whenever we want poultry to be distributed, whenever we want eggs, milks, and ice cream, these guys are the most ones to be based on these, so that everyone in the country could gain from that, okay? In the north, as my co-worker was mentioning, you could view no type of agriculture being done around this area. We have different type of ecosystems as we travel throughout our highways. These would be known as the seasonal savanna, in which the water itself during the rainy season, which takes place from November, takes place from June to November. All of this type of ecosystem act like a sponge, absorbing plenty of water during the rainy time. Rainfall for the northern half of Belize would be approximately 50 to 70 inches of rainfall. Another type of ecosystem that we will eventually come across will be a secondary forest, which we tend to find canopies of trees and not much of the species of trees growing all the way like a primary broadleaf forest, which would be located in the southern part of Belize. It's that area to be known as the broadleaf rainforest that we could have from 150 to 180 inches of rainfall, okay? So land around here not being set aside much for agriculture, but if we travel in the northern part, it's where all of that sugar is grown, sugarcane, as well as different type of vegetables. And for most of the Mennonite community that are located there as well, they are responsible for growing different type of crops like corn, rice, beans, all of this that go out in our markets every Mondays and Fridays. Okay, so you will go out there to purchase fresh organic products there, and you're good to go. An average Belizean earns approximately $1.75 US. So it doesn't matter which culture you are from, you must work to be able to survive. A lot of people, depending on the area that they live, they get to have a type of job in which they could automatically gain an income for their family. So in the northern part, a lot of villagers get employed directly by the sugar industry, and some of them get to go out there to do the milpa and slashing burn system, in which they clear a huge amount of land, and some of them get to go out to the market area. When it refers here to the city, you would note a lot of villagers that get to live around here, that small villages as we came along offer these guys a type of employment that others get to have a business in their own, particularly here as we going to Altun Ha, most of them get to do beautiful carved woodwork. So they get to sell it at a very reasonable price here at Altun Ha, and the others get to be based on the marine industry, which is one of our basics here in the country as well. When it comes to snapper, conch, shrimp, we get to export these products. Having an open and closed season for these type of products like the conchs, the shrimps, and the lobster, we have a very sustainable way in which that is allowed it to for a mating season. So if you're caught selling these while the season is closed, you could be charged or even confined. Okay. Here in Belize, it's very important for you to have a license when it comes to go do fishing in the fishing industry. And if you would like to go along in the forest and cutting down a particular type of hard lumber, which we would refer like the mahoganies, and as well like for many other type of lumber that we could find around here. Okay, it takes approximately 60 to 80 years for a mahogany to reach full maturity. So whenever we want to go in the jungle and cut one mahogany, we must replant two. Okay, so having a license for the marine industry and for the different areas in the forest makes our entire country have different areas that we serve are like a conservation area. Okay, so you would note a lot as well that in the center of the country where all of this marine product activity is taking place, we get to export. With the sugar, we have a high demand whenever we export sugar. It's one of our major primary industries as well as you are, so thank you very much. It's from the bottom of my heart for choosing Belize to be your #1 destination for today, okay? It serves like an equivalent level with the sugar and industries, which our country is based on that in our economy. So other things that we get to export as well to the U.S. would be orange concentrate. In the southern part of Belize, we have set a huge amount of land for oranges and bananas. So we get to plant a lot of these type of products in the southern part. And we could get as cheap as 8 to 10 oranges for 50 cents US. As cheap as, the same applies for bananas. 8 to 10 bananas, 50 cents US. A pound of sugar could go as low as 25 cents US. So we refer our country to be a self-sustainable country, okay? Any one of you did saw gas prices back there at the area at the city or as we were coming along to the villages? Do you think that we pay high price, low price here in Belize? Okay. Let me tell you about our currency so that you could be able to understand how much we get to pay for our gas price here in Belize, okay? For you all, $1 US is equivalent to $2 Belize. There's one here. We have other denominations such as the $5, the $10, $20 note, the $50, and one of my favorite, which is the blue one, okay? So for us to be able to go out there and purchase 1 gallon of gas, we pay approximately $4.30 US for 1 gallon of gas, okay? So it makes it like $8.60 per liter. So pass these for you to take a look and pass that at the back as well. We have found crude oil in Belize, but guess what? We don't have any refineries for our crude oil, nor do we have any refineries for our sugar. So we export both. We export the brown sugar. You all get the final product in Domino's. How many of you have tasted Domino's? As well as with the orange concentrate, you all get to taste a Minute Maid. So if you believe that the label saying 100% Florida orange juice, you have tasted a little bit of Belize, because whenever they run out of the orange concentrate, Belize gets to supply them with an amount, okay? As well as when it comes to the crude oil, as I was mentioning, we get our fuel directly from Venezuela. But guess what happened? At a 12.5% of general sales tax, and prices get to go up. Okay, that's the reason why we got to be referred to our price a little bit like stable at present time. Before, during 2015, we had our gas for approximately $6 US, so that was much higher. So if you are from any other where in the world where you can pay $3 or less, please, whenever you go back to home, please hug your gas pump, because here in Belize makes it very difficult earning us $1.75 from an average Belizean for them to be able to use their private vehicles. So that's the reason why we get to use a lot of our community buses as we travel from any part, rather be from the north, the west, or the southern part, which basically would be based a lot on the city itself because a lot of employment takes place in the Belize district, okay? Population-wise for the entire country consists of roughly approximately about 350,000 Belizeans, with all of this ethnic group that I was mentioning to you, as well as when it comes to the city itself, so we had a population of 70 to 80,000 only in the city itself. So, do we have any questions so far, my friends? Yes, ma'am?
The flag that I see, red, white, blue with the black.
The flag that you are all seeing in the light post. Very good question. Any one of you have ever seen our Belizean flag, by the way? No? Right. I have one here for you to do. And it relates a lot on the flags that we're all seeing hanged out there on the post. Okay? Red, blue, and white. Very similar to those colors that we're all viewing, right? Belize has a parliamentary government system, which Prime Minister is elected every 5 years. For government system here in Belize, we have two parties. The red one is the United Democratic Party, is the one that's in power at present time. Those flags that you all get to view out there is a form of propaganda for that particular party. We had general elections to be held on the 4th day of November. That was recent time ago. So that's the way they get to have this propaganda going on around here, as well as for the opposition to the red color. It's the blue color. So the blue color will be using a red, blue, and white. The colors in the flag itself represent peace and unity. So you would refer Belize to be one of the safe place to live in the entire Central America, okay? Our Prime Minister, he could take a walk or exercise routine every day on the streets of Belize. And guess what? We would all greet him. We don't need any type of security officers to be guarding him. All he needs is his chihuahua dog. So imagine if our Prime Minister could do that. What you as a retiree could do, right? Whenever coming to Belize, you could choose to find a home here as well. The wreath represents with the leaf of the mahogany, since it is one of our major type of industries that started to our economy. And the tree in the center, anyone can guess what type of tree that is? Mahogany indeed. The two humans on our flag makes it very neat, because no other flag in the rest of the world would have two humans on them, right? They represent the pavement cutters. They were the logwood cutters back then, when all of this industry of the mahogany was occurring. In the center, having the shield of the timber industry. And for us here in Belize, we also refer at the bottom section some umbrella floreo, meaning under the tree-eye flourish. So, since you all are VIPs for today, guess what happened at this point? I have the flag, I have mentioned to you the information of what a small flag can contain. So what's next? How many of you would like to hear our Belizean anthem?
No.
Visiting Belize?
Yes.
It's a must, right? Not done on other tours, just when Jade is present. So VIPs indeed. Here we go. To lands of the free by the Caribbean Sea, our manhood we pledge to thy liberty. No tyrants yelling down, the bird must flee these strength. The haven of the oppressed, the stars which follow the sun brought freedom from slavery, oppression's root, by the light of truth and the grace of God. No longer shall we be hewers of wood, all rise, ye sons of the payment's land. Put on your armor, clear the land, drive back the tyrant, let this blood flee. Land of the free, by the Carib Sea. There you go, my friend. Okay, our beautiful flag, as I will show you all, represents one of our symbols. Here in Belize, we have other symbols as well, but with the flag itself forming one of them, okay? Belize is home to over 600 species of birds. A lot of these birds get fly around in different types of ecosystems. But I want to make you all aware of one particular species that we get to protect a lot here in Belize. The keel-billed toucan also represents our national bird. This bird tends to grow approximately 20 inches in height. They can bear 2 to 4 eggs, which usually they nest in hollow trees. So if you could see a toucan for today, that would be seeing nature at its best, okay? As well as we have over 280 species of orchids. Black orchid, the name of the particular flower that we choose and set aside to show our national symbols. During the rainy time that I've mentioned, this flower right in the center observes plenty of water. So it makes it bloom all year long compared with other type of orchids. Okay? The largest Central American mammal, which we would refer as a mountain cow, or locally you all know it as a tapir. They could grow approximately having a weight of 600 pounds or more. They enjoy being around the river and they're excellent swimmers, okay? And not leaving beside the mahogany. Any one of you suffer from athlete's foot? That's a perfect species of tree to search for. We collect a huge amount of the bark from the tree itself. We boil that into water. We soak our feet, and you're ready to eat. That's all my coworkers mentioned. Okay? So you can also have a look at this, and then let the others take a look as well. So we are not far away from reaching the site of Altun Ha. At this point, I would like everyone to give me your full attention, since we would be giving some rules and regulations to follow as we arrive at the site, okay? Our first stop whenever we reach at the site of Altun Ha will be the restroom area, okay? Your number of the bus, 586. 586. Our driver, what's our driver name?
Miller.
Miller, right? So, for today, we are a huge group of 40 guests. So we are considered to be a big family. At this point, we want 3 suggestions of a group name. Anyone, with any name in particular. Come on, who would vote? Anything that comes into your mind. Name. Say again? Anyone? Remember that we have been giving you a lot of information. The macaws. Another one? Mahogany. One more?
Home.
Say again, Mom?
Home.
Home? Okay, who goes for the macaws? By the raise of hand. The macaws. That's the way that we will name our group for today. The macaws. The mahogany.
Yeah.
The Belizean mahogany. The other one was? Homa?
Home.
Home? How about home? Okay, we guess that the Belizean mahoganies would be the name for you all, okay? We have other groups here at the site as well, and they are working along with the same company. So we prefer a group name in which we all refer to you all so everyone doesn't get mixed up, okay? Today you all will be staying at site for 1 hour or so. It will be a fully guided tour by my co-worker, which he would take over. You all would be having time to do some climbing. And whenever exiting that area, during a time being given to you that you are all expected back on the bus, you could do express shopping. Why is it so? Because you all will be carried to another location where you all will be taking that boat to give you the river tour for later on today. You all with me?
Yes.
Yes? Any extra luggage that you could have with you, anything that you don't need to bring along for the archaeological tour, you could leave that on board. You could bring your cameras, you could bring insect repellents, you could bring, if you would like to apply some sunscreen, but that I don't think that's needed for today, you could apply that outside the bus, okay? If you don't need anything extra, that could safely be left here on board. The bus would be locked, and our driver, Mr. Miller, would stay behind to take care of that stuff for you, okay? And as well as in plans would be, sometimes we have some kids in that area with wildlife. We highly recommend for you not to get in contact with these wildlife. They might have a small crocodiles with them and other type of reptiles. If they come and ask you, do you like to take a picture? Please, just keep away from them. Our priority is your safety. So for us, safety plays a huge importance for us, okay? If you get bitten or if you get stung by one of these animals, we are not held responsible for that. Apart, they might ask you for financial contribution for a particular picture. If any one of you are taking any medication, we advise you to do so before going on tour or bring that along with you. Climbing is not mandatory, it's optional. As well as if any one of you would like to stay back at certain point, just kindly notify any one of us which are your tour guides for today. So we also will be having giving you water as soon as we exit the bus. So we ask you to take one bottle of water as we enter the site, so that you all get to keep hydrated for today, okay? Right here, it's really chilly and really cool, but whenever you get to go out there, do some climbing, believe me, you will need that water with you. So we ask everyone to kindly keep hydrated, and any additional questions that you might have, we are here to answer those. So, you all got everything clear for today?
Yes.
Yes? Those stickers that you have on you, I will be outside whenever you get out. Just we ask you to kind of remove them, not to litter the place. And smoking here in Altun Ha, the only area you could allow to do that is right in front of the restrooms, okay? We all regroup right in front of the restroom area. Whenever you hear us calling the Belizeans mahoganies, we are referring that to you all. We enter the site as a family, as a group for today, okay? Accompanied by your tour guide. Someone had a question back there? What time we will be giving you a time that you all are expected on the bus. Restroom area, all of those heading over to the left side, where we have the green rooftop with the stone walls over to that location, okay? Yes, you could. Any extra luggage could be left on board, as I've mentioned. Okay, my friends? Be aware of your steps as you get down, as well as the water will be distributed to you all, okay?
If I get tired of carrying it, can you?
Still running?
Yes.
Oh.
You're welcome. Follow Marvin that way. Watch
Thank
your
you.
steps. Hello.
This turned out to be good effort. He was so good on the boat.
Yeah. thing to do. Well, I'm fine.
All right, we'll take your water back.
So this is videos of the
Okay. So we can go up this way.